withdrew its troops from near the border. The Syrian Kurdish militia was the only U.S. ally in the fight against Islamic State in Syria. There have been casualties on both sides, but estimates vary. It is clear that tens of thousands of people have been displaced by the fighting. Maine Republican Senator Susan Collins is saying that given President Trump's decision to pull U.S. troops from...
Perhaps one of the 20th century's greatest champion for those efforts, and now to have Helen coming to the American Printing House just again highlights what this city is about, highlights what we're trying to accomplish here.
Some artifacts like Keller's Academy Award and a letter to Nazi students are on display at the Printing House now.
Get on there and start charging.
The full exhibit will
Thank you.
be on display. Daily fees at Louisville's public golf courses will go up by $5 following a Metro Council vote last night. Sponsor Cindy Fowler of District 14 estimated the change could bring in more than $1 million. Most of the city's 10 public courses have lost money in recent years, and with a growing pension bill putting pressure on the city's budget, the course's fiscal stability is essential to keeping them open. Fowler says she hopes that increasing fees will not deter golfers.
Just want to say I've got over 5,000 signatures from golfers across the city that say they are in full support of the $5 increase. They said it's been way too low for way too long.
Metro Louisville is also soliciting proposals from outside management companies in hopes of striking more favorable contracts. A judge says that Republican Attorney General candidate Daniel Cameron will appear on the November ballot. Capitol reporter Ryland Barton says a lawsuit claimed Cameron did not have the required years of experience for the office.
Louisville resident Joseph Jackson filed the challenge last month, arguing that the 2 years Cameron spent as a clerk for a federal judge should not count as years spent as a practicing attorney. Jefferson Circuit Court Judge Barry Willett ruled against the lawsuit, saying that by election day, Cameron will have the requisite 8 years of experience required by the Kentucky Constitution. Cameron is a protege of Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and worked for him between 2015 and 2017. If elected, Cameron would be the second African American in state history to win a statewide election in Kentucky. Cameron's Democratic
computer on a local screen. For use with remote assistance and work from anywhere. Learn more at remotepc.com.
Mostly cloudy today with a chance of showers by late afternoon. Rain tonight, a cold front sweeps through tonight, and that means Saturday is going to be a much colder day. It'll be partly sunny to start, and just lower 60s for a high tomorrow. Right now it's 67. I'm Milburn, 89.3 WSHL. Good morning, it's 7:07.
This is Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm Rachel Martin.
And I'm David Gray. Good morning. Two associates of President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, have been arrested on campaign finance charges. Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman have reportedly been helping Giuliani in his effort to dig up
parties with a nationalist message that's gaining traction. Here's NPR's Rob Schmitz.
To understand the politics of Poland, this is a good place to start. Thursday night Mass at the Immaculate Conception Church, the heart of rural Gora Kalvaria, an hour outside of Warsaw. 80-year-old Kazimiera Soborowska prays there 3 or 4 times a week.
Być Polką to znaczy
Being Polish means God, children, and family.
She thanks the ruling party, Law and Justice, for sharing her church's values.
stawiamy się, że jesteśmy.
I think it's good we have a government that represents our religious convictions and that's also concerned for the common man.
The Law and Justice Party was founded by former Prime Minister Jarosław Kaczynski and his identical twin brother, the late Polish president Lech Kaczynski. Both were pro-democracy leaders decades ago under communist rule. The party won Poland's last parliamentary elections in 2015 with an outright majority, a feat no party has done since the fall of communism. The party's message that people have not benefited enough from the country's post-communist economic liberalization and integration into the European Union appealed to Poland's working class. And in a country where 9 of every 10 citizens are Catholic, a third of them who regularly attend church, what the party calls its pro-family social agenda is popular too.
Because those are the values tested over many centuries, and because those are values that not only lead to God, but also integrate families.
Andrzej Jeromenik is a parish priest in Gora Kalvaria. He says his parish supports the Law and Justice Party's subsidies for parents who have more than 2 children, and he backs the party's opposition to gay marriage.
That ideology is dressed in the feathers of humanistic values, but underneath lies harm for human beings. It has the goal of transforming young minds so that they believe the most important element of being human is the sexual dimension. The government is protecting us against that.
And the support that priests lend to the Law and Justice Party is powerful.
The political impact of the church is rather limited in big cities. In small areas, they are all powerful. Basically, they shape politics as they like.
Jacek Kucharczyk is president of the Institute of Public Affairs, one of Poland's largest think tanks. He says priests throughout rural Poland encourage parishioners to vote for the Law and Justice Party. In return, Kucharczyk says the party protects the church.
As long as we are in power, you have nothing to be afraid. There won't be investigations into pedophilia, there won't be any changes in your privileged position in public institutions such as public schools and so on and so forth.
On the streets of Warsaw, Poland's capital, many people NPR interview agree the relationship between the church and Law and Justice keeps both of them in power. But many, like retired resident Blanka Radomska, are frustrated with other aspects of the party's rule, especially the party's move to grant lawmakers more power over the appointment of judges, threatening their independence.
Nie podoba mi się to, co zrobiono w sądownictwie.
I don't approve of what's been done to the judiciary. I don't approve of the gall, the arrogance, in every area. I'm afraid that if it continues this way, they'll get their hands on the media, too.
In fact, in a 232-page party manifesto published in preparation for the October 13th election, Law and Justice outlined new regulations for Polish journalists that rights advocates called an assault on democracy. The Institute of Public Affairs' Jacek Kucharczyk says a strong economy has helped Law and Justice stay in power. The party's nationalist populist message has appealed to other Eastern European countries. But he says for Law and Justice, the upcoming election poses an existential threat.
These people have done so many things during the 4 years in power that they will likely face legal actions if they lose power. So it's make or break for them. I mean, they have everything to lose.
But losing doesn't seem likely. Law and Justice leads its opposition by almost 20 points in opinion polls ahead of Poland's October 13th election. Rob Schmitz, NPR News, Warsaw.
For about 3 minutes, just sitting there, trying to figure out what I am.
This is NPR News.
You are listening to Morning Edition on 89.3
2 antennas on the back of my car, a bike rack.
Sesame Street is expanding one character's backstory to explain the subject of addiction to children.
Streaming
To see that
cell
car-
phone camera
To see
with a
that car
little blue
leave
light in front of
is
it
a similar experience
indicate
can be
that my phone is
very
charging.
powerful and very comforting.
The goal of the Sesame Street character is to help children
from this station. And from Little Passports, their new Science Junior subscription for kids aims to inspire curiosity, designed to bring projects to life while utilizing new science concepts. More at littlepassports.com. From Jane and Gerald Catcher, supporting the children's movement of Florida, dedicated to helping all children enter school with the social, emotional, and intellectual skills needed to succeed. More information is available at childrensmovementflorida.org. And from CFP professionals, committed to providing holistic financial
fear that CBP could change its mind. Tribal Chairman Ed Norris Jr.
We have lived in this area forever, and so a full-blown out 30-foot wall would make it that much more difficult for our tribal citizens in Mexico and in the U.S. to be able to actively participate with family gatherings, with ceremonial gatherings.
Traditions are important to the Antone family. I met them recently walking westward along the state highway that runs through the reservation. They were on a pilgrimage for St. Francis. 18-year-old Janae Antone talked about another rite of passage that's vital to young Tejano Otto men. They travel on foot the round trip of 300 miles from the reservation across the border to the salt flats at Mexico's Sea of Cortez.
The salt run for the men, that's really important for us as an autumn, you know, for the men to go run all the way to the water to get the salt. Some people go and get seashells, so I don't really necessarily think it's a good idea.
The Antone family carrying a feathered walking stick, the statue of the Virgin, and an American flag, then continue on their pilgrimage. John Burnett, NPR News, Tucson. This is NPR News. You are listening to Morning Edition on 89.3 WFPM. And this afternoon, when you listen to All Things Considered, you'll hear about how in Virginia Beach, the mass shooting there this past spring left a dozen dead. And now gun control has emerged as a key issue in Virginia state politics. We'll tell you more about that during All Things Considered this afternoon from 4 to 6.
Support for 89.3 WFPL comes from Highland Baptist Church. Trusting that peace can rise from discontent and anger in our polarized world. Highland Baptist Church, a thinking, feeling, healing community of faith. At the corner of Grinstead and Cherokee. From Fox Hollow Farm presenting the Harvest Hoedown, a 2-day autumn celebration and benefit for Dertig Care. With a boot stomp and farm party, don't be a square dance. Harvest celebration features music from the ghosts of Paul Revere, Justin Wells, Whiskey Bend Valley Boys, plus fall activities. Today and tomorrow, more at foxhollow.com.
Mostly cloudy today with a chance of showers by late this afternoon and a high in the upper 70s. It's 67 at 7:30.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Dave Mattingly. Two Florida businessmen with links to President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, are being charged with federal campaign finance violations. Here's NPR's Scott Newman.
Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman were arrested at Washington's Dulles International Airport on Wednesday, and they're being charged in connection with an alleged scheme to funnel foreign money into U.S. political campaigns. The largest of the alleged contributions is $325,000 to a group raising money for President Trump's re-election campaign. Federal charges of conspiracy, making false statements to the Federal Election Commission, and falsifying records.
Wildfires are burning in Southern California, where Santa Ana winds and dry conditions are fueling the flames. The fire east of Anaheim has destroyed dozens of homes. In the San Fernando Valley, a wildfire is threatening communities in northern Los Angeles and forced mandatory evacuations for more than 1,900 homes.
I particularly enjoyed how the speed limit through that section is 75. And that cop was doing about 70. He flicked on his blues when I was passing him. Felt like doing 75, man. You have no power over me. And then he, I guess, realized it, turned his blues off. I still continued on, but then he proceeded to speed up and get way ahead of me.
Claimed that the state hasn't expanded its prison population under his watch, but Capitol reporter Ryan
drive like if that held speed through any of that distance. Keep it traffic? Usually, yes. To go speed limit if they're going slow? Yes. Don't hit this hill right about 40 and let the hill slow me down to 25? Yes. Everybody else around me still runs about 32 to 33 around. Admittedly, the school, it's a little bit early for them right now, too. They want to getting busy for about another 10 to 15 minutes. This whole parking lot needs to be torn up and rebuilt. It's pretty messed up over here. Let's check it out. Got a little tower right there. That also has a microwave.